Her eyes didn't just see, they destroyed. Discover how Medusa's deadly gaze turned her from a mortal maiden into mythology's most feared figure. Like a master storyteller weaving an enchanting tapestry, we'll unravel the threads of this ancient legend, exploring its origins, evolution, and the enduring impact it has had on our collective imagination. In the realm of Greek mythology, few tales are as captivating and tragic as the story of Medusa. Her journey from a beautiful mortal woman to a terrifying monster is one that has echoed through the ages, leaving an indelible mark on the collective imagination. Medusa was once a stunningly beautiful maiden, one of three sisters known as the Gorgons. While her siblings, Sthano and Euryale, were immortal and born as monsters, Medusa was mortal and possessed an allure that was unrivaled. Her beauty was so enchanting that it caught the eye of Poseidon, the powerful god of the sea. Unable to resist her charms, Poseidon pursued Medusa relentlessly. One fateful day, he finally caught her alone in the sacred temple of Athena and forced himself upon her. This vile act desecrated the sanctity of Athena's temple, an unforgivable offense to the virgin goddess. When Athena discovered what had transpired, her rage knew no bounds. However, in a shocking twist of fate, she directed her fury not towards Poseidon, but towards Medusa. Athena, known for her wisdom and strategy in war, made a calculated decision to punish Medusa for the transgression that had occurred in her sacred space. With a heart full of vengeance, Athena descended upon Medusa and unleashed a terrible curse. She transformed Medusa's luxurious locks into a writhing nest of venomous serpents, a living manifestation of the horror that had befallen her. But Athena's punishment did not end there. She also bestowed upon Medusa a gaze that had the power to turn any living being that looked directly into her eyes into solid stone. In an instant, Medusa's life was forever altered. The beautiful maiden was no more, replaced by a monstrous creature that inspired terror in the hearts of all who knew her tale. Medusa was condemned to a life of isolation and despair, forever haunted by the knowledge that her very existence was a curse upon the world. As time passed, Medusa's legend grew. Tales of her petrifying gaze spread far and wide, striking fear into the hearts of mortals and gods alike. Heroes and warriors sought to test their mettle against the fearsome Gorgon, but none could withstand the power of her deadly stare. Despite the horror of her curse, there were those who whispered that Medusa's fate was a cruel and unjust one. They spoke of the ways in which she had been wronged, first by Poseidon and then by Athena. In their eyes, Medusa was not a monster, but a victim, a woman who had been punished for a crime she did not commit. The snakes that replaced Medusa's luscious locks have a rich symbolic significance in Greek mythology. Serpents were often associated with wisdom, regeneration, and the cycle of life and death. They were also seen as guardians of sacred spaces and hidden knowledge. In Medusa's case, the serpents could represent her role as a protector of Athena's temple, as well as the hidden truth behind her transformation. Some even suggest that the snakes symbolize the feminine power that was stripped from Medusa when she was cursed by Athena. While Medusa's ability to turn living beings to stone with a single glance is purely mythical, the concept of petrification does have some basis in scientific reality. Petrification is a process that occurs when organic matter is replaced by minerals over time, preserving the original structure in stone. This can happen through permineralization, where minerals seep into the pores of an organism and slowly replace its tissues, or through silicification, where silica-rich water penetrates an object and replaces its original material with silica deposits. One of the most stunning examples of petrification in nature is the petrified forest in Arizona. This surreal landscape is home to countless fossilized trees that have been turned to stone over millions of years. Imagine walking through a forest where the trees have been transformed into shimmering, multicolored pillars of stone, each one a testament to the transformative power of nature. It's a breathtaking reminder that even the most seemingly permanent things in life can undergo profound changes given enough time and the right conditions. Throughout history, Medusa has been a muse for artists and writers alike. From ancient Greek pottery to contemporary art installations, her image has been reimagined and reinterpreted in countless ways. One of the most intriguing depictions of Medusa is the Medusa Rondinini, a Roman marble sculpture that portrays her with a serene and almost contemplative expression, a far cry from the monstrous visage we typically associate with her. This sculpture challenges our preconceptions about Medusa and invites us to consider the complexity of her character. In Ovid's epic poem Metamorphoses, Medusa is portrayed as a tragic figure, a beautiful maiden punished for her vanity and pride. According to Ovid, Medusa's hubris in boasting about her beauty angered Athena, who transformed her into a monster as punishment for her arrogance. This interpretation has been influential in shaping popular perceptions of Medusa as a cautionary tale about the dangers of vanity and the consequences of defying the gods. But in recent years, there has been a shift in how Medusa is portrayed. Many modern retellings reimagine her as a symbol of female empowerment and resilience, a victim of sexual violence who is unfairly demonized for speaking out against her abuser. These interpretations cast Medusa in a new light, as a hero who uses her petrifying gaze as a weapon to fight back against the patriarchal forces that seek to silence and control her. The tale of Medusa reaches its dramatic climax when the hero Perseus is sent on a quest to slay the Gorgon and bring back her head as a trophy. Armed with divine gifts from the gods, including a polished shield, winged sandals, and a magical sword, Perseus sets out to confront Medusa in her lair. But as he approaches the sleeping monster, he realizes that he cannot look directly at her without being turned to stone himself. In a moment of quick thinking, Perseus uses the reflection in his polished shield to guide his sword as he beheads Medusa with a single stroke. It's a scene that has been immortalized in countless works of art, from ancient reliefs to Renaissance paintings to modern films. But what does this pivotal moment reveal about the deeper themes of the Medusa myth? As Perseus holds up Medusa's severed head in triumph, two miraculous creatures spring forth from her neck, the winged horse Pegasus and the giant Chrysaor. Born from the blood of the slain Gorgon, these beings represent the transformative power of death and the potential for new life to emerge, even in the face of monstrosity. Some interpret them as symbols of the creative force that is unleashed when the monstrous feminine is confronted and overcome. At its core, the Medusa myth is a complex and multifaceted story that speaks to some of the deepest fears and desires of the human psyche. One of the most prominent themes is the concept of the monstrous feminine, the idea that women's power and sexuality are inherently threatening and must be controlled or destroyed. Medusa, with her serpentine hair and petrifying gaze, embodies this fear of female agency and the potential for women to subvert and challenge male authority. Another key theme is the power of the male gaze and the objectification of women. Medusa's petrifying stare can be seen as a metaphor for the way women are often reduced to objects of male desire and fear, their agency and subjectivity stripped away by the power of the male gaze. The fact that Medusa is ultimately defeated by Perseus, who uses his shield as a mirror to avoid her gaze, suggests that the only way to overcome the threat of female power is to turn it back on itself and objectify it into submission. Yet despite her monstrous appearance and deadly gaze, Medusa's severed head is often portrayed as a symbol of transformation and rebirth. In some versions of the myth, her blood is said to have the power to bring the dead back to life, while in others, her head is used as a weapon to petrify enemies and protect heroes from harm. This suggests that even in death, Medusa retains a kind of power and agency that cannot be fully contained or controlled by the male heroes who seek to destroy her. The Medusa myth has had an enduring impact on popular culture, inspiring countless adaptations and reinterpretations across a wide range of media. From classic films like Clash of the Titans to fashion collections by designers like Versace and Alexander McQueen, Medusa's image has been used as a symbol of power, rebellion, and female empowerment. In recent years, the Medusa myth has taken on new meaning as a symbol of female rage and resilience in the face of sexual violence and oppression. For many women, Medusa represents the power of speaking out against abuse and refusing to be silenced or shamed by a society that often blames victims for their own trauma. Her story has become a rallying cry for survivors of sexual assault and a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable pain and suffering, women can rise up and reclaim their power. If you've been captivated by this deep dive into the mesmerizing tale of Medusa's deadly gaze, then you won't want to miss out on more mythological adventures. Subscribe to our channel for regular updates on the stories, legends, and mysteries that have captured the human imagination for centuries. From the heroes of ancient Greece to the gods and monsters of cultures around the world, we'll be your guide on a thrilling journey through the rich and fascinating world of mythology. So hit that subscribe button and join us on our next adventure. Who knows what petrifying tales and shocking revelations await us? Until then, keep your eyes open and your mind sharp. You never know when you might come face to face with the deadly gaze of the Gorgon herself.